this theme is mental health is a universal right, as of course is something that WHO prescribes every year. And in schools, it is almost very essential to ensure that every student has a right to a safe and supportive environment that protects them from mental health risks, along with access to high quality mental health care that is readily available, culturally sensitive, and respectful of each and every student's needs. And this approach definitely fosters independence, inclusion, and a sense of belonging within this entire school community that we have. To reinforce this theme, we are facilitating today's panel discussion through a new lens, is what we have titled it, in order to highlight the diverse perspectives that we will see today. And as all of you represent different walks of life, we have with us a principal, a psychologist, a teacher, an entrepreneur, as well as students. And of course, this will provide us with an intersectional lens to delve into this entire idea of accessibility of mental health as a universal right.
Students have to really counter so many emotions, and emotional quotient is what we have to strengthen. And the mental health programs in the school brings this together for the students to brave the situations. You are the bravest ones, my dear students who are sitting there, the 10th and the 11th and the 12th graders, because we have already achieved what we wanted to.
I think it's important to have an environment of acceptance and inclusivity. Only then will we be able to know that okay, people are going through things.
As a student of the generation Alpha, I believe it's essential to cultivate self-confidence and self-love. So firstly, by embracing our uniqueness and imperfections, as no one in this world is perfect. This being imperfect makes us unique, and it makes us who we really are.
It's really stressful these days as teachers. It's very important to protect ourselves physically and of course with all the mental health, because if we are fit and good, and that is when we can do justice to the students at work, which is really important.
We intervene early, then we can prevent a lot of things before it happens, and we can catch on things, risky behaviors and children who are who need help. And help is, as I always say, help is always available. So there are certain things, if we bring on early intervention, we can promote healthy relationships with yourself, with your parents, with your teachers, the whole triad of people.
Like we have to set clear boundaries. Okay, so we have to set it like, okay, this is my time for the work, and this is my time for staying in home, and I want to dedicate my time for my personal well-being. And then we have to prioritize self-care. I think these things are really works well for both even for schools and also professionals.
I would like to say that as you progress through the years of life, you grow with that knowledge, right? So every year you gain some or the other form of knowledge. So of course, by other people who are in your life, or even by yourself, you are expected to perform to the caliber of the knowledge that you have gained every year.
You should be mature enough to handle your emotions. You should be mature enough to have control over what you think and what you say. Sometimes we children do not have control over that, but yet we use social media.
People really look up to influencers and they follow everything they do. And if you have that responsibility, if you have like followers, people following you, you have to be very responsible in what you post and what you depend.
Amongst the student representatives, we have 4 different students from across the country joining us today. Mr. Rakshit joining us from Suncity School, Sector 37, Gurugram. He is the student representative from grade 10 and has been kind enough today to share his inputs on the discussion. Thank you, Mr. Rakshit.
I think now that we were only talking about students and they were in the limelight, why don't we hear from them, right? So Rakshit, would you say that when you are suffering, or when anybody is suffering from challenges that are, in terms of their mental and social emotional well-being, how do you think it impacts their other family dynamics or other relationship dynamics? Even the perception of their relationships, does that change as well?
Well, yes, it does. Mental health plays a very crucial role among your own physical mental health, and also involves the mental and social health of your entire family. Because yeah, even when your mental health flow is disrupted, the entire family dynamic goes off path. And there are a lot of factors that come with this. The healthy development of the child stops. In fact, the healthy development of the parents also stop, because we never stop growing. We're also learning and moving forward in life.
Hmm.
So the quality of life decreases, of the entire family decreases, and even the academic success matters a lot, because the main thing emotionally your academic it is affecting your academic success is your emotional quotient, that comes from mostly your family and your friends. So when your mental health is disrupted, it will disrupt the mental health of the entire family and the friend group. It will end up disrupting your academic goals as well. So yes,
Hmm.
I agree with it. And yeah, that would be an answer.
Sure, Rakshit. I think I have another question that is slightly unrelated, but it is related to what we just spoke about with Miss Charu, right? So, what are some ways that you think social media impacts student mental health, and what do you do to manage or counteract the negatives that come out of it?
Well, during this COVID time, we already discussed about it. There was a lot of content exposure that was given to the children, and there was a lot of content that was not appropriate for their age, but they did receive it. And social media, I feel, is not one very bad. Is not a very bad thing. It does not have a lot of negative effects, but yes, if you don't use it properly, it does. Some negative
Hmm.
effects would be FOMO, fear of missing out, and in result of that FOMO, you start to isolate yourself, which again affects the mental health of the entire family and disrupts the EQ.
Hmm.
Further, I would like to say one solution to this would be maturity. I feel that that is why the government and all these social websites, they have an age limit. They have a minimum age that you can register onto them, and that needs to be followed. So there's a maturity that comes with age. You should be mature enough to handle your emotions. You should be mature enough to have control over what you think and what you say. Sometimes we children do not have control over that, but yet we use social media. I would like to share one example that happened with me. So I was sitting with my friend, and then we were both looking at one post of a child and a group of friends. I was not that influenced, but then my friend wanted to be like them. My friend thought that he was missing out on something. So that's the change in mentality that we see in different people. So that comes with age and that comes with experiences. I feel that you should be mature enough to use social media, and if you are not, you shouldn't. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Rakshit. Yes, I think you shed light on a very important point of emotional quotient that also gets affected, right? Because our entire idea of isolating ourselves or not being able to communicate in person when we are also in touch virtually shows and is a testimony of how it really affects our interactions and social emotional dynamics. So thank you so much for that. As a student, you were able to really articulate very well as to what are the challenges and what are some solutions. So I think when you talk about maturity, just also knowing when to seek help is a very important idea.